movie notes on Devotion, 2022 film, 24 January 2025 viewing. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi. She, her, hers, I'm going to talk through my movie notes for my Friday, 24 January 2025 viewing of the 2022 film Devotion, which is a biographical film about two fighter pilots, Jesse Brown and Tom Hudner, in the United States of American Navy during the Korean War and their contribution to racial and military progress during wartime, emphasis on the year 1950. Yes, I don't know much about the Korean War. And I did not necessarily learn that much from this movie, aside from like these two people were fighter pilots and they were making progress, right? Like within the war, but then also for racial justice in progress as well. It was more like racial progress, but I get progress where there was none before as a form of justice, I guess. So yeah, there was a bunch. They did a good job on the movie they changed the setting a lot, and I thought the movie did an excellent job of communicating the change of setting. So like it would go from, or let's do that come to mind. There was a scene in Cannes, C-A-N-N-E-S, France in 1950, and you know the guy Jesse is in France and there's like a flag and there's a little cafe on the corner and he walks across the street and goes to the beach. But it was very clearly communicated both on screen that it's Cannes, France in 1950, but it also then had a flag of France flying on the building, so it's like it's on the screen, but then it lives on in the video itself by the flag, which I thought was helpful. And then the Korean War, and they did have at least one scene in North Korea. Okay. So there we go. People go, why is it blue and yellow? So blue and yellow is actually the color scheme of the United States of America Navy, and a bunch of things have copied the color scheme, including the University of California system. Each school has a different shade of blue and yellow. If I'm recalling correctly from my time, there was the United States of American Navy has been around for what, over 200 years, and that's longer than a lot of flags for some countries. Is that true? But so blue and yellow within the United States of America, at least. A lot of it stems from the United States of American Navy, if you didn't know, and like safety symbols in laboratory and naval settings. If you didn't know where that kind of originated. The military. Yeah. So in the United States of America, blue and yellow means military legacy. Okay. Or even if the copycat doesn't know. Okay. And so I thought it did a good job of not getting too, it would be the acting as well as the screenplay, of not being too emotional and staying true to fixating on the professional aspect or aspects of being in the military, and then kind of highlighting where emphasis was needed in interactions for there to be racial progress. So maybe how I'll phrase it. So it didn't devolve into pettiness and that kind of thing. It stayed professional, and here's the professional, and here's the fighting scenes, and then it also professional is how does this person handle this confrontation with this individual, that kind of thing. So without being like going overboard and that kind of stuff, which is like good. I think at the time, so my grandparents lived through World War II, and there was a bunch of news and a bunch of like military coverage and that kind of stuff, and in film form, in some form. So I would say, what am I trying to say with this? The people living in at the time might have very well known, like, or guessed, like, this is going to be made into a movie. Like, that's just kind of the norm these days. So what I'm trying to say is the screenplay might not be too far from the actual people, because the people were smart enough to be like, maybe I should conduct myself on like not just like military professional, but like super professional, because they might actually make a movie about this someday. Like and it might not be like, and that's just kind of the norm of the time anyway. So it's for all I know, which I don't know, but it's like, it is possible for people back then and now to think about how they conduct in making sure they present as the self that they would at least hope would be communicated via movie form someday down the road. So there we go. So my movie notes on devotion, I give it 5 out of 5 stars. And at the dinner table or somewhere along the way, not too long ago, it was like 2022 was kind of like a downtrodden year in cinema, and then I was like looking through, I have a playlist on the channel for notes on 2022 and 2024 films. I was like looking through my playlist. I have off-channel documentation where I should like save the videos and stuff, and like, and with them, and I was like, that was actually a pretty good year. And this is like, adds to, it was a pretty good year in cinema actually, like for, at least for the videos that I've seen. They were pretty good. You can see that in the playlist. Check it out if it's still there. Yeah. But it's like, it adds to the good ones from 2022. So there we go. So my movie notes on devotion 2022 film, 24 January 2025 viewing.